Hi, my name is Ro Melnico, and I'd like to welcome you tonight. You're to be commended for looking into something that's healthier than our usual holiday cookies, and yet quite tasty for you and your family. This event is sponsored by partners of the Juice Plus company. Juice Plus is essentially concentrated fruits, vegetables, and berries in capsules or soft chewables. Let me show them to you. In our green cap is our vegetables, the red is our fruits, the purple cap is our berries, and the orange cap is our omegas. We also have them in chewables. Here's our fruits. Here's our vegetables. And here's our berries. And I must say, they are nutritious but yet delicious. I've been on them since 1994 because of the amazing health benefits. But my favorite product is the Juice Plus Complete Smoothie Mix, which we will use as part of our Energy Bites tonight. The Complete comes in French vanilla, and it also comes in Dutch chocolate. Now, you saw the large bags I had there that come with scoops, but we also have single serves that you can use when you're on the go, and you can actually dump them into a shaker cup if you'd like to do that. What's wonderful about the Complete is that it has 4 kinds of protein: pea, rice, water-washed soy, and chickpea protein. It is all plant-based, containing things like pomegranate powder, pumpkin powder, and so many wonderful whole foods that were selected for their high nutritional content. And it's so delicious. You can make shakes, pancakes, cookies, muffins, waffles, and of course, Energy Bites. So let's get started. I thought I would make this recipe: pumpkin spice Energy Bites. Now, what you're going to need is oatmeal for this recipe. This is what I'm using. You're going to need pumpkin spice. You're going to need honey. You're going to need pumpkin pie mix or puree. You're going to need some kind of nut butter. I'm going to use peanut butter. And you're going to need your vanilla Complete, either in the large package or you can use the small package, whatever you choose. All right, let's get started. I'm coming to you from my office, but there are other ladies, 4 of them, that will come to you through their kitchen. Record now. They're going to come in through their kitchen, but my family's down in the kitchen. So I'm going to get up. I'm going to move my chair over here, and I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to move my table a little closer to you. But now you can't see my head. So let me take care of it this way. And now I think you can see me. All right, so for the pumpkin spice energy balls that I'm going to make, you're going to need 1.5 cups of oats, okay? And I'm going to put it in a bowl. You're going to need the, which I forgot to tell you, pumpkin spice. Can you see that there? Pumpkin spice. So it calls for 1.5 teaspoons, but that's a little strong for me. I'm just going to use 1 teaspoon. It calls for 1/3 cup of honey. So I'm going to pour that into my bowl. Someone needs to mute. Danielle, can you mute? Okay. It also calls for 1 cup of pumpkin. So let me, Danielle, is that you or, yeah, that's you. Could you mute? And it also calls for nut butter. You could use almond butter, you can use cashew butter. I'm going to use peanut butter tonight. So I'm going to put that 1/3 cup in here. And it calls for 1.5 scoops of our Juice Plus Complete. So I'm going to put that in here. Now I want to show you that you can take the scoops there, but you could also decide that you want to take the packs and take 1 pack and then half of another pack. You could do that. And then you're going to mix it all up. And after you mix it all up, it's going to look like this. Now, before you make it into balls, my suggestion is to take a little coconut oil, okay? And maybe take like a teaspoon, like a half teaspoon, and rub it between your hands here. And then take a scoop of it, about this much, if you can see that, and then rub it between your hands. I'm not going to do that because I have to go back over to the computer. And then form the ball and put it on wax paper. This is my finished product. Let me walk around here so that you can see this. Can you see that? Okay. All right. Now, you can make wonderful, wonderful gifts with them, and it doesn't cost you much, and they're delicious, and they're healthy for us. And that's something that we really want to pay attention to this time of the year. Something that's going to be healthy for us. But you want it to be tasty, right? You can get a mason jar, and you can do these balls in vanilla and in chocolate if you decide, whatever you want. I did half vanilla, half chocolate. I put some coconut on the bottom of my jar, and then I put some chocolate chips, some dark chocolate chips inside. I put a bow on it, and there you go. A wonderful, healthy gift for someone. Now, you might want to do it in a smaller jar and put it into like a little bag like this. And you can absolutely do the same thing. You can even take a cup and pile them up high, okay? And then wrap it with some color cellophane like this. And you've got an easy gift that's very affordable, very healthy, and tasty. They'll thank you for it. So I'm going to come back here now. I'm going to move back my chair and sit down. And I'm going to watch Marlena show us what she's going to make for us tonight. Marlena?
Okay. All right. Let's see. Let me put myself on speaker view so I can see myself. Okay. So I'm going to make oatmeal raisin balls. And Ro gave you a real tutorial there, so I'm going to make mine a little shorter. But the main ingredients is the rolled oats. And I like to try and use as much organic in pretty much everything that I do, but you know, you can just use whatever you have in the house. And so this calls for 1 cup to 1.25 cups of rolled oats. Then I have my nut butter. Can you guys see this? No, I need to hold that up higher. Okay. So then I have my nut butter, and I'm using almond butter. Then my sweetener is maple syrup. Ro used honey in hers. I'm going to use maple syrup in mine. Now, the nut butter and the maple syrup are what I call the sticky parts of the Energy Bite. So if it turns out that maybe you have too many oats and it's not holding together, you can add a little more of your nut butter or your sweetener, and that will help it to coalesce better. Then I also am adding 1 tablespoon of chia seeds. And then my flavorings are ground cinnamon, and vanilla. It's a teaspoon of vanilla, a quarter teaspoon of ground cinnamon. I didn't tell you how much nut butter. It's half a cup of nut butter, a third of a cup of sweetener. And let's see. Okay, a pinch of salt. And then I'm going to use raisins as my add-in. So my secret ingredient, however, is my Juice Plus Complete. I'm going to use the chocolate variety. And I'm going to use 1 packet of this. So this will give it a nice chocolatey flavor and will give it all that nutrition that Ro was talking about from plant products that we all need so much in our diets today. So those are my ingredients. And I just put it in a bowl like Ro did. Just mix it up. And I actually put mine in the refrigerator for about 20 minutes to a half an hour before I make the balls. And then they're not too sticky. And then I have this 1 tablespoon measure that is perfect for scooping out the balls. And so I just scoop up my ball and I kind of squeeze it and then I just pop it out and there it is. So that's my recipe. Oops. And let's see if we can, there we go. There's my finished product. This recipe makes about 20 balls. And you can just use them anytime. You can take a couple with you to the gym if you're still going to the gym. Or, you know, you can just, they're great for any time, but we're using them right now as our healthy after dinner snack. So I'm going to pass the baton over to Kiana now.
That was great, Marlena. I feel like they just keep getting better the more that we make. So hello, everyone. I'm Kiana. Happy to be here talking to you about the Holiday Energy Bites with Team Unstoppable. The recipe that I chose is actually going to be the sweet potato ginger carrot. So I got some cooked sweet potato right here. They ended up being more like sweet potato wedges. I used gloves for all of this. A couple of things that make it easier when you're making the energy bites are gloves, measuring spoons, measuring cups, a scraper or a rubber spatula, and in this case, a masher. So I took the skins off of my cooked sweet potatoes and I mashed all the potatoes in. And then after that, like Marlena said, taking the sticky ingredients, I took 1 cup of mashed sweet potato, a half a cup of nut butter. We actually have some people in my family that are allergic to nuts. So it helps if you have a wow butter or a sun butter because the base of this is sweet potato, or you can try with just a whole bunch of sweet potato if you want to omit the nut butter altogether. Then after that, what I also like to do is I add the honey, 3 tablespoons of honey to my peanut butter, and I warm my peanut butter in the microwave for about 30 seconds just to make it easier to mix. Then afterwards, I take my honey and my peanut butter mixture, I put it in with the mashed sweet potato, and then it called for a half a teaspoon of cinnamon and a half a teaspoon of ginger, which since they're my dry ingredients, I mix them together. I sprinkled them all on top of my sticky ingredients so far, and it called for a scoop of the Vanilla Complete. I then poured the Vanilla Complete over that as well, and I mixed them all together in a large bowl. One of the last things that it called for was the oats. It was a 3/4 cup of oats, so I went and I measured it out. Oh, pardon me. I measured it out, and then I went and I mixed everything together, and you end up with a nice, thick, sticky mixture like this. Much like Marlena, I also put mine in the refrigerator for about 20 minutes. If you're in a pinch, you can put it in the freezer instead. So since I have my gloves on, I'm just going to make one for you right now. I also like the idea of measuring out a tablespoon just so that you know about how many you'll make, you know the portion sizes will all be the same. The gloves really help because the nut butter gets them a little sticky, but believe it or not, they actually don't stick too much to the bowl, so it's a nice thick batter that you can work with that you'll get many from. I also really enjoy this because my family, we have a sweet tooth, and this time of year, cookies and things are just very unforgiving. So to know that the picky eaters in my life who don't care too much for certain things, they get things like mushrooms, radishes, yuca, broccoli, things they don't even know about, they're all inside of this ball. Shh, it's the holiday magic. So then I actually use, for my peanut butter, I use a crunchy peanut butter because I like the added nuts. You can add chia seeds to it if you'd like, but this one just calls for peanut butter, cinnamon, ginger, honey, oats, and then you roll them in coconut flakes. We did make half a batch that had some raisins mixed in as well, but this is what the finished product will end up looking like. We have these here. And then our other batch that has no raisins. And much like what Rose said, I also enjoy the idea of giving them as gifts. So we actually took an empty peanut butter powder bucket. We would fill it up. You can put a flower on it and give it to your loved one. So thanks so much for learning how to make the sweet potato ginger coconut energy bites with me. I'll be sure to post the recipe on the Deck the Halls with Energy Balls page. And I'm happy to switch it over to my pal, Elsie.
Thank you, Tiana. That was wonderful. I've got to try that recipe. So I'm going to do one of my favorites, and it's actually from our Taste of the Shred cookbook. And you can actually get this in electronic form. So I'm going to do the Almond Joy Bites. Who doesn't love Almond Joys? But this is so much healthier than the candy bar, and they taste wonderful. So I'm going to start by telling you what the ingredients are for the Almond Joy Bites. So you need a half a cup of almond butter. All right, and then you want 1 cup of pitted dates. Now this is about maybe 12 or 13 dates, but what you want to do is, or this is how I do mine, you want to blend those up. So they're going, once you blend them up, they're going to almost become like a paste. And so you're going to end up with less quantity, but that's how you want to blend them up. I actually blend mine up in my Vitamix 8-ounce bowl, but you can use a food processor or some other way to chop up your dates so they kind of look like a paste form. All right, and then you need your chocolate complete. All right, so one scoop of chocolate complete. We have it measured out, and a 4th cup of shredded coconut.
And you need 12
Yes.
coconuts.
So we I shredded this up as well. And it doesn't have this in the recipe, but I like to add it. Some of the recipes do have it, but the one in the cookbook does not. I also chopped up some almonds because it's Almond Joy Bite. So you gotta have 1 second. Oh, about 14 almonds. Okay, my partner says. So we ground those up. You can, you know, whatever size you want. I kind of made them small. All right, so then you just mix all of that up, and I find it better to use a fork because you have like the dates are kind of a paste. So you kind of got to mash everything in with a fork, and then you can mix it up and roll them into energy balls. I like to refrigerate my dough in the refrigerator for a few minutes. One little tip I want to say is make sure you make extra because you're going to find that you're going to eat a few as you're making them. This recipe, I think, makes 12, about 12. So we do have some finished here that I put on the plate for you, and we don't have 12. You disappeared. I have some helpers. But anyway, these are our Almond Joy Bites. And as far as gift giving, I like to do that too. You can actually get little pastry boxes at the craft store, and you can put your energy bites in little cupcake liner papers, and then put them in the box, and then you can even tie a nice bow on the box for gift giving. You can get about 4 or maybe 6 in the little mini pastry boxes. All right, so thanks for letting me share. Hope you love that recipe. And I want to introduce my friend Marilyn in Delaware, who's going to give us a delicious recipe as well. Marilyn?
Thanks, Elsie. Don't we wish we were all together so we could be sampling all of these bites? That's what I'm missing, that we're not getting to taste them. You know, our bites are really healthy and they're good, but I wanted something even a little more decadent. So I decided on fudge. So this is chocolate peanut butter complete fudge. And it's really simple, just a few ingredients. I had to freeze it, so I'm just going to show you the ingredients now that we put in it. So it was a cup of organic peanut butter, about a dozen dates, again chopped up. I put those in the food processor together. 1 packet of our chocolate complete, and then just a little splash of almond milk. I don't know if you can see, yeah, almond milk. Or you could use any other kind of milk that you like, plant milk. And so when you're doing it, the consistency depends on how much oil is in your peanut butter. So you'll use less or more milk depending on that consistency. This was from BJ's, and it was pretty oily, so I used just a little splash of the almond milk. But if it's drier, then you can add more to get the consistency. So you mix this all together, you get a big bowl, thick bowl of dough, and then you just press it into your pan and stick it in the freezer for an hour. And that's as easy as that. I added some cocoa powder and I added some Himalayan pink sea salt just because I wanted to dress it up a bit. Put it in the freezer, cut it into 36 pieces, and there you go, fudge. And it really tastes good, just like fudge. So that's what I'm sharing today. And I'll turn it back over to Ro. Ro, you're muted.
Sorry, I learned so much. We did not rehearse these, so we didn't know what each other was going to do. And I must tell you, I learned a lot of tips on how to make them even easier. All of us will post our recipes on the event so that you'll have them there when the Zoom is over. And then tomorrow I will go back in and I will share other recipes with you. So we hope that you enjoyed the demos, and you hope you realize that you really can eat tasty food and tasty snacks and still be healthy, because right around this time of the year, especially now, it's very important to keep our immune systems healthy. And we tend to eat a lot of sugar around this time of the year, which weakens our immune system. But having our energy balls is a way to have your cake and eat it too, let's just say. So thank you. Happy holidays. We hope that you get back to the person that invited you. If you want information on the Juice Plus, the Juice Plus chewables are complete. They'll be there to give you that information. Thank you. Good night, everyone. Happy holidays.
Good night.
Good night.